So Helen, 83 day event at the ditch combination. What have you got planned for them here?
Okay, so as you can see, it's all part of a theme. They've all got very similar questions, but with a very obvious progression up through the levels. So for the 80, they've got a very similar log to the 90, but much further away from the ditch. So they've still got the downslope to negotiate, still thinking about that balance and a little bit of the camber here. But then really they've got oodles of time to get to the ditch. You know, from here, the horse isn't necessarily going to have clocked that actually they're going to be jumping that ditch. So it's then really important, you know, whilst that helps, if you like, with this element, it doesn't necessarily help them when they then turn to the ditch, because obviously then, you know, the horses will see it and could potentially have a bit of a spook and a bit of a look in the bottom of it. So they've really got to sit up and look up and ride forward. Only an A, B, but I've done something a bit interesting here with the numbering, with the lettering of this fence, because I feel very strongly that I think they should be jumping a ditch. It is an 80, it's a 3-day event, you know, it's a sort of largely considered more of a championship track. So I feel quite strongly that they should have a ditch as a question. But I'm equally conscious that, you know, sometimes at the 80 level, if they don't have an alternative at ditch, I don't like sending them home and having lots of E's on the scorecard. So this log is actually going to be AB, so it's going to be 12 AB. The ditch is C, so you have to accept the question and take it the first time. So you'll have jumped this, so you'll have jumped AB, and you have to go to the ditch, which is C. If they stop at the ditch, there is then an alternative, which is a log to the left of the 90 C element. That is going to be lettered BC. So once you've stopped at C, you can then jump B again. So you could go straight to the log, which is BC, and jump that and literally just take the 20 penalties for the refusal. What you can't do is go straight from this log, which is AB, to the other log, which is BC, because that would result in a big fat E, because you would have jumped B twice. So quite a complicated kind of concept to get your head around, but the principle is I want them to attempt the ditch. That's the question. I don't want to eliminate them and send them home, so if they do stop at it, then they can legitimately take an alternative route.
I say it's really smart course designing. You know, we want to be producing horses that can do ditches, water, steps, you know, as the primary thing of cross-country riding. But as you say, you don't want to send them home. I think if anybody at home is worrying about, oh goodness, the lettering is a little bit confusing, the rider briefing will give a lot of clarification on that.
And on Friday evening.
Totally.
And my husband Andrew will go through that, I'm sure, with his Irish humour.
Yes.
But no, it is, you know, it is a straightforward principle. You have to attempt it the first time, and obviously everybody's going to jump it, I have no doubt. But if a horse did go a little bit green, or a rider had a little bit of a fright there, then they've got the option to then go to the log and carry on, so that they complete the course.
And if you're confused at all, remember we are doing a course walk on Friday afternoon at some point with lovely Redpost for all the 80, 90, 100 3-day riders. So head on over to that, and then we can just clarify your thinking, your plan A and plan B here at the ditch.